Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial. This tutorial is going to walk us briefly through the U.S. Department of Agriculture website. Up on the top is the URL that gets you to this site, and I've provided you with the shortcut link that gets you directly to this page. Now, I've been involved with the U.S. Department of Agriculture via the printed media, and it was just a book called The Composition of Foods. I bought that book 47 years ago, and I bought another version of it, an updated version. I think it was 3 years later. They were extremely hard to get. This is not an easy book to get. When they went to the online version via the website, I thought, wow, this is great. Because one of the advantages to online tutorials like this is that you get to know these websites, but if there's any errors, they can correct it immediately. Where if you had to correct an error in a printed version, you had to wait 3 years for that error to come out, and nobody notified you of that error. So I really enjoyed it when they came with this online version. And as a carb counter now, this is my Bible. This is the book that I always go to, or website actually. It's not in a book form anymore. But it's relatively easy to go through once somebody walks you through it. And that's what this tutorial is all about. So let's get started. In the center of this page, there's a dialog box in black, and it says Food Data Central. That is the search box. That's where we're going to put in our search criteria for the food that we want to find out about. So for an example, I can put in peas or carrots or potato, celery, lettuce, but it doesn't matter what it is. And I believe you can put in multiple items too. I'm not too certain. I've only played with one item. So let's get started, and we'll do it with peas. It's an easy one to spell, and also I know exactly where it is on the page. Once you type in peas, depending on if you have a Mac or a PC, you will hit the return key or the enter key. If you don't want to do that, you can use your mouse and you can click on the magnifying glass, and that will start your search. So let's click on the magnifying glass. And our search criteria comes up here and says peas. So we know what we've been looking for. But here's the thing. It defaults to foundation foods. When the printed version first came out, it had legacy foods, I believe. You'll notice that there's a 51 beside the legacy foods, and there's no number beside foundation foods. This means that under the legacy foods, it found 51 items with the keyword peas. Now, it's also got survey foods of 177, branded foods of 8,313, and experimental foods with nothing. I don't know what these three are. I have not played with them. This is a relatively new update to me. I've only looked at the legacy foods. So that's where we're going to head right now. So we click on legacy foods, and it's going to bring up 51 items with the word peas in it. Pea or peas? Well, I automatically want to go to peas green raw. Okay, so I click on it. It now brings up more information. Information on what the composition of peas are. Everything from carbohydrates to the water content, to the calories, to the vitamins and minerals and other things that might be in peas. They're going to list it here for you. The most important thing to pay attention to right off the bat is the portion size, and that's right here. It defaults to 100 grams. Well, I'm old-fashioned. I know what cups and ounces and teaspoons are, but I really struggle with this metric system, so I don't know what 100 grams really is. But if I click on here, it gives me the option. Now, in some foods, it'll give you more than one option. This one only gives you 2 options. So I know what a cup looks like, but I didn't know a cup of peas was 145 grams. I do now. I would have thought that the 100 grams would be the default for a cup of peas, but obviously not. So I know what a cup looks like. I now know what 145 grams of peas looks like, which is 1 cup. So let's go there. Now it's going to recalculate all the values in this string here, in this column, pardon me. The most important part that I look at as a carb counter is the carbohydrate count. So for 1 cup of peas, we're looking at 20.9 grams of carbohydrates. Now, I don't eat 1 cup of peas. I like peas, but I don't like them that much. I might eat 1/4 of a cup of peas. So that would mean that I have to divide this by 4. So I'm going to get roughly 5.2. So 5.2 grams of carb. Now, what does that mean to me? Well, my input or intake of carbs per meal is roughly 30 to 40 grams of carbs. So I'm up to 5.2. So I need something else. So let's just go backwards. Use the back arrow key. And where it says peas here, I'm going to change that. Well, let's up our game a little bit and we'll put some carrots on the plate now. Now I know what raw carrots look like, so I'll click on raw carrots. Now it said that there was 27 search items for the word carrot. Pretty good. So I know what a raw carrot looks like. So let's click on raw carrot. And again, it defaults to the 100 grams portion size. So let's change that to something that I recognize. Well, let's see. 100. 1 cup grated or 1 cup chopped. Interesting. I would have thought grated would be more grams, but not. Okay, so let's go for grated, just for simplicity's sake. It's going to recalculate the values in this column here. I go to the carb again. 1 cup of grated carrot is 10.5 grams. Well, I'm going to divide that by 4. Okay, so I'm going to come up with another value in there. Probably about 2 point something. We'll just round it off to 3. What the heck? So that doesn't leave me a lot of carbs. I think the other one was 5 something. This one's 3. That's 8 carbs total. Far cry from my 30 grams. Well, let's just go backwards and let's put something else on our plate that I like. And that's potatoes. Oops. Potato. All right. No E. All right, so let's scroll down the list here. And, there it is right there. A potato baked with the flesh and with salt. Okay, now we're talking. All right, so again, the portion size, 100 grams. All right, I don't know what 100 grams of a potato looks like. But here's something interesting, okay? A 1/2 cup of potato is 61 grams. 1/2 cup. Now, I probably would go with a whole cup. So let's go with, okay, so a whole cup would be 120. All right, a whole potato would be 156. All right, let's go with a cup. I like that. So I go down to the carbs and I see 13 grams in a 1/2 cup. A whole cup would be double that. So now I'm at 26 grams of carbs. Interesting. Interesting. Well, that now tells me something. let's go for the 156 grams. So that's a fairly good sized potato. And that's 33 grams right there. So that would take me now between the 30 and 40 gram input or intake for that meal. So that means that I can't have anything else with carbs, okay? I would have to have broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, like things that don't have carbs with it. Even the steak might have some type of seasoning with it, which might add to the carb, but not very much. So we'll say that we can add a steak to it or some type of meat. Along with the 3 carbs, okay, that we've chosen, peas, carrots, and potato. That's a pretty good meal right there. Right, for me anyways. I would be full after that. So that gives you an idea how you can use this particular program to find out, okay, if you're a carb counter, just how much carbs are you taking in. When you go to the grocery store and you look at each one of these foods, there is nothing, because there's no label on anything to give you an idea how much carbs, and then, unless they're frozen peas and frozen carrots, and then the packaging will basically tell you how many carbs in there. But you pick a potato up off the shelf, and there's no way of knowing what a carbohydrate count is for a potato. You have to guess. Once you catch on to this, you can look at a potato and you can say, okay, that I can handle that size right there. Or you go to a restaurant and they give you a potato of a certain size. You can kind of judge, okay, if you're either under or over or right on. But I want to just talk about other things that it brings into the composition of foods. I mentioned, okay, now we're looking at a potato, and we're looking at a good sized potato. It'll give you like how much water content is in there. It'll give you the energy in, I'm not sure what that, kilocal, or no, it's calories. I guess 145,000 calories. I don't know how you read that. I'll have to figure that one out. But it tells you how much protein in grams, how much fat. That's really important as well. We talked about the carbohydrate. Fiber, there's a good one. Okay, if you're on any type of diabetic diet, fiber is extremely important to slow down the digestive system so that you don't get a rush of carbs going into your body and elevate your blood sugar quickly. What else can we look at? We look at sugars, calcium, iron. There's a good one. A lot of people have an iron deficiency. So you can start picking foods that are higher in iron. Same as like potassium. Some people have low potassium levels, so you can pick a food that has higher potassium. Or if you're getting too much potassium, you can pick foods, okay, that are lower in potassium. Same with sodium and all these other, things, the different vitamins, vitamin A, B, C, all these. What else do we have in here? Beta carotene, we've heard of that. A lot of different things. Some of these I don't even know what they are, like these SFA. I have no idea what that is. I'd have to look that up. Fatty acids, monosaturated and polyunsaturated. Those are your good and bad fats. Okay. Cholesterol. There's another one that we're all interested in. One at the bottom of the list here I found rather funny was caffeine. That I found was rather funny to see. 0 milligrams in a potato as far as caffeine is concerned. But this gives you kind of an idea, like, how to use this website. And I hope people get out there and use it. A lot of people are misled in a lot of things when it comes to the composition of foods. They read weird things online or what other people say. This is a really, really good source of information, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, I've been using this for 47 years, and this is like my Bible. There's been doctors that I've talked to that didn't know about this site. They do now, and they really appreciate that I brought it to their attention. Even dietitians didn't know about this site. So I'm very pleased that I was able to pass on that information. So I hope that you take advantage of this particular website. Let me just back this up a little bit here, and there's where the URL is to get you to the site. The site is called the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food Data Central. Thanks, gang, for watching this. I hope this little tutorial really helps you in your managing your food diet, or whatever you want to call it, your meal plan. I hate the word diet. Like, first three words scare the hell out of me. I rather call it a meal plan. All right, and I never limit myself. I always have something. I have a little bit of everything, but having it in adequate portions and learning how to balance your diet. So to have that piece of apple pie in the after dinner, for an example, I would have like maybe a quarter of the amount of potato that I would eat, to make room so that the carbs that I consume in the apple pie are replacing the carbs that I took away from the potato. But anyways, give this a try and see how you like it. I'd like to hear some feedback on how you use it, and good luck with it. And thanks for watching my video again, gang.